Hey everyone, DJ Sterf here. I'm going through this theory that Fredbear, the plush, is different from the last speaker on night 6, and I've captured every frame of this conversation, and we'll go through and sort these by speaker and figure out the colors of each dialogue line. So, yeah, I've gotten through this with no deaths, nights 1 through 8 with no deaths, and there's nothing that you get special. There's no advantage for doing that. Phone with the plush trap is easy. Let me show you this really quick. This will be in hard mode because you only get 30 seconds, but you'll hear like a deep step sound and then a scurry. Deep steps, scurry, deep steps, then flash. That's half. That's 1. 1.5. 2. Alright, there. So you heard that like deep step sound or whatever. That's how to win at phone with plush trap every time. But you have to have your headphones on stereo mode. If you have it on Dolby at all, you can't really hear it. So yeah, that's an issue. But anyway, let's go to these lines of dialogue, and then we can go through and figure out who's speaking when and all that, who that last speaker is on night 6, or at least shed some light on it. Alright, so first we have night 0. You all can see. Okay, good. What did he do this time? He locked you in your room again. Don't be scared, I'm here with you. And then if you go over to where the plushes are, the kid will say, these are my friends. Tomorrow is another day. You note, I took this screenshot here as well because every single one of the lines of dialogue, let me duck a little bit there, has this white arrow, so that doesn't change color, but the speaker does affect the color of the text. So let's go over to night 1. These are my friends. Again, this kid is saying that, and let's drag this over here so we're sorting these by speaker. You know he is hiding again. He won't stop until you find him over there. And then tomorrow is another day at the very end when after he jump scares you. So after night 2, you get this one. So he left without you. It's interesting that this is gold. So it kind of brings up the question, is the gold this Fredbear plush or the subconscious of the kid that the kid is imagining that the plush actually has? He left without you. He knows that you hate it here. You're right beside the exit. If you run, you can make it. All that. And these are all the lines of code. I just took this screenshot because it's kind of an Easter egg, kind of. And tomorrow's another day after he hides under the table, balled up, crying. But let's select all of this, deselect this, and then let's move this over. I'm going to move this down here, and then move this over to another location here. And then I can move this one up. Okay, so now we have it sorted by night, per speaker, all that. And then this. Okay, so then you have this major interactive cutscene, minigame, whatever you want to call it. He hates you, you have to get up. You can get out this time, but you have to hurry, and then, yeah, no, don't remember what you saw, the exit is the other way, hurry and leave. And you can actually leave. And when you exit, you see all these NPCs, these non-playable characters. Here, so you have, where's your plush toy? Mine is Spring Bonnie. My daddy says I have to be careful with him or I pinch my finger. He's a finger trap, he says. Ha. Let's get the colors of all of these. Let's actually go back one step and get the colors of these here. And you'll see the color of the background change here because I gotta get this there. And the color is FFFF57. Okay. Which is 255, 255, and then 87 for the text color. I'll just move that object. So whenever you see this color there, FFFF57, that's Golden Fredbear. And actually I can use these blocks to sort. That might be cool. We'll do that. And then you have here, I'm assuming that this is going to be a white for the kid. It's a solid white. And let's see. Yep, FF. That's the pure white. So we're going to get all these colors here. See if this shows anything, especially the Fredbear versus the end speaker. So this is all 255s. Good. And he has a few more lines of dialogue. I'll leave some space there. And these, I think, are just titles, but they all have the same color. Let's just double check. Yep. Alright, that's a solid white as well. So whether the kid is narrating 2 days until the party is a different font, though, as well. I think it's just a heading. So, probably not the kid speaking. I try not to read into this too much, also. Alright. Let me put these here. You notice that these two colors look very much the same. Let's see if these are the same color. These are two different people, very clearly. Alright, so... Oh, hold on. Here. No. There. No. There. Yes. Okay. C0 FFA0. C0 FFA0. Okay, so let's see. This is 192, 255, and then 160. C is worth 12 and A is worth 10. You multiply by 16 on the first, and then there's 0 plus that. I have a feeling that this is going to be the same color as this. And we'll check. So this one right here. Yep, same color. Very interesting. So these two actually have the same color of dialogue text. Very interesting. Okay. So we'll use this rectangle for them. Just drag this up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit neater. Okay, that's interesting. All of these, I think, are references to Five Nights at Freddy's 2, these characters. So you clearly have Balloon Boy here. And then these other ones. This is probably Mangle, if anyone, if this is actually a reference, because it's kind of a coralish color as well as the pink shirt, all that. But you see the other toys here. The only other toy there is Toy Foxy, who is Mangle. This one right here, ears and green eyes, Toy Bonnie. Don't know why it would have that color there. You'd expect more of a bluish color if that's anything, so it's probably theory debunked. But these two are different. The only guy left would be Toy Freddy. That's possible. Maybe you'd grow some ears or something. And then he's got the brown shoes. And then this one right here, he's got the heart. She's got the heart, presumably. And then carrying something else, so kind of like a cupcake, just carrying something. So it's probably Toy Chica, even though there's like no yellow at all. So that's a big stretch, but that's one theory. Maybe it was an illusion put in, but who knows. Okay, so let's make another rectangle, put it all the way in the back. Arrange, send it back, yes. Okay, so what about this one right here? So, presumably Toy Bonnie or whatever. Here. It is FFFFA0. A lot of A0s here. A lot of recycling done on the numbers. Doesn't seem to really be a rhyme. There's no rhyme, no reason. No rhyme, no reason. For all you Pump It Up players. Alright, then we have this one right here. There's a Control Shift down. This one, let's zoom in. Let's see, Mangle's text is FFC0A0. It's the same numbers recycled. Alright, so a lot of C0s, a lot of A0s, and a lot of FFs. So let me just double check. FFC0A0. Okay, so that's 192, 160. Alright, seems to be legit so far. What about Balloon Boy? And zoom in. Are you going to the party? Everyone's going to the party. I didn't go. Here. Wow, it's bright, bright, pinkish. FFA0FF. It's the same. Okay. FFA0FF. That's 160, 250. Oops, not 260. Cool typing, bro. There we go. Alright. I messed with the kerning of the font there. Oops. And then here you go into the house again, and you see tomorrow's another day after you get jump scared. These are actually you see be careful as well, right, when you enter the house. And then tomorrow's another day. Let me double check on those as well. But here we have, these are the frames, all the frames here. It just loops. You just sit here for days. There's no other frame. And that's actually shown in the resources too. These are all the frames, so nothing hidden here. Just walk up to the TV on this night, and then when that appears, you don't get jump scared. So it rewards you for having the guts to actually go back to the TV. Okay, let's make sure these are all the same color, and they look exactly the same. I'm sure it is, but we'll see. Here. Yep, and then yep, FFFF57. Cool. There. So these are the dialogues so far, and then we have one day until the party, and this is a monologue by the kid. And you notice too that there's no tomorrow is another day. It's very interesting. And there are two more lines that the kid has as well, so .0 days until the party. This is where I'm not sure who the actual speaker is, because this blue could be either the mask or the shirt, because this actually matches the shirt of this guy, so I don't know. This would be too dark to be on a black background, so it could have been brightened some, but regardless, it's one of these two guys. Let's actually split these up. So there, and paste. So we have this. Beefy muscle guy doesn't say anything. So let's check the color on this. Zoom in a little bit more. Alright, the color on this one is 57C0FF. Okay, they were uncovering something here, because these are recycled letters all over the place, or I should say hex values for the colors. Let me just double check. Yep, 57C0FF. So that gives us 87, 192, you notice 87, and then 255. Okay, and then the brother chimes in here, it's hilarious. Here. And then get him as a speaker here. Okay. And actually, my assumption is that it will be a different color, so let's do that. Okay, now we have that dialogue set, and that box set. Okay, so we have this dialogue from the brother. Let's move him over here and turn this into his color. Let's see what it is. Why don't we help him get a closer look? That's not the first thing he said. It's hilarious. Yeah. Why don't we help him get a closer look. So this one is going to be, let's see the color, 787878. I remember when that Scott Games trailer was out, the 787878. I think he just put some things that he put in the game on his page, because we see the 87 as the number on some of these hex for the color, and then it's a 78, 78, 78, which that would be 120, 120, 120. That's 112 plus 8 on each one of those. So it's hilarious. Why don't we help him get a closer look? And then kids like, no please. Poor kid, and no, I don't want to go. Let's move these up top. Okay, and then there are a few more lines of dialogue here. What a jerk of a brother. And then one more. Okay, I guess there. I wonder what the background color is here. Let's see, that's too dark. 535353, that's nothing. What is the color of Fredbear's hat? F0, F, nope, no. 6F1F73. 6F1F73. Same one for the bow tie. 6F1F73. Let's put that beside it. 6F. Is that right? Double check. Yep, 6F1F73 is the hex value for Fredbear's hat, bow tie. Is that hyphenated, or is it just that? I think it might just be one word. Hold on. Load up Google. Let's be proper about this. Yeah, it is all just one word. Interesting. Well, maybe. Bow tie dictionary. Alright, it's too... Well, it's either two words or one word altogether. Let's do it 2 words. That seems to be more proper here. Bow tie. There, because it's a type of tie. Sure. But it could be hyphenated. Who knows? Alright. So then we have this dialogue here on night 6, where the curiosity is whether this text is a different color or not, and whose dialogue belongs to whom. Okay, so can you hear me? Maybe I should show the night 6 ending in a bit here. I can go back and revisit. Okay, so whose dialogue lines are these? Let's find out. This color is 787878. Sound familiar? Well, it's the brother. So it's the brother's dialogue. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. I mean, he better be sorry. He just essentially killed his brother. So those 3 lines belong to the brother. And then what about these ones? Is this Fredbear or not? It doesn't look the same. Let's find out. You're broken. And it's interesting because all the other guys disappear. It's definitely not the same color. FFFFA0. That's different. That is different. We haven't seen that one before. We're still your friends. Do you still believe that? I'm still here. I'll put you back together. Let's make sure all these are the same color. Yep. 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 All the same color. So these are all one speaker. And of course this is given that this has been the norm throughout the rest of the Dialog sets. I'll put this here. So we have FFFFA0, which would be 255, 255, and then 160. So, interesting. Interesting. It definitely is not Fredbear. Unless it's a mistake, which is also possible. But that's the norm of this has been consistency in the speaker's dialogue line colors. So here we have all of the dialogue, and I have this in another image as well. Let me go through and just double check really quick. Here. Alright, this is night 7. Let me throw this in as well. Let me get rid of this one. Night 7 looks like this, and it fades in and then it fades out like instantly, so I'm hoping I got it at its peak, but it never gets much brighter than this at all. Let's look right here. 46, 46, 46. Let me see if there's anything brighter. Yeah, it's all 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 4, depending on the shadow. This one's solid here. 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. So a little bit of anti-aliasing going on. 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, which would be 70, 70, 70. Let's multiply the 4 by 16. You get 64, and then add 6 to each one. So that's completely different. But let's capture that one too. Oh, come on now. Really? It's been so good so far. Hold on, need to select that then. I think I got it. Yeah, wild click. Got it. All right, so these are the dialogue lines and colors in Five Nights at Freddy's 4. It is interesting that this is actually a different color and likely a different speaker from Fredbear. So whether you want to think that this is the puppet because of the stripes, interesting in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the puppet, that like kneeling, crying thing, had striped pants but a solid shirt. But that's not what it is here, it's the opposite. So maybe he changed clothes and he's the puppet, or if this is the puppet speaking, then he's not the puppet. So it's just, and then if Fredbear is here and Fredbear already existed, then is that really where he went? So interesting, but yeah, that's what we have here. I got all the colors. Yep. But I want to highlight a few things here, and one relates to these recycled numbers. So you notice here we have 57, which in hex that relates to 87 numerically. It seems that, okay, well, let's look at this right here. So we have 87. We have Fredbear, who does the bite or the chomp or whatever. We have these guys, one of these two guys who helps out in the whole bite of maybe 87. We'll see. Because, I mean, you still have to deal with this. Is this an old syndication date? Is this 83 and a red herring? And this would allow for Five Nights at Freddy's 5, which could still exist because Five Nights at Freddy's is following after the Friday the 13th series, where the first 3 didn't have any subtitles, but then 4 was the final chapter. What was Five Nights at Freddy's 4 originally? The final chapter. And so regardless of whether this was changed for legal reasons, or maybe Scott didn't want to have his series be pattern after another thing, wanted to blaze his own trail. Maybe he got rid of that title for that reason too. But regardless, that was the subtitle of the game. So Five Nights at Freddy's 5 could be Five Nights at Freddy's 5: A New Beginning, which would probably not exist way back in 1983. It would probably be in the future. Maybe another auction thing, whether 4 occurs in the future with an auction, and what did you bring home or whatever in the trailers. You can't always go by the trailers, because in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, the trailer, Bonnie was running. Bonnie pulls off his mask, which never happens, either one of those. Foxy is the one that runs in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So there was clearly some changes in development, even as in his Geeks Under Grace interview, which has a lot of really good stuff. I admire his faith. I don't really like this story so much in the wholesome sense. I mean, this is miserable. So even the good endings are really bad. But I guess, yeah, it's a horror genre, so you can expect so much. But who else? 87. But anyway, Geeks Under Grace, there was a mention, okay, I can't explain Golden Freddy, some things just happen in development. So a lot of things likely did change in development, like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the toxic meter doesn't exist in the actual game. So that part was taken out. That was changed during development, but he didn't delete the code. You should really clean up your code. That's part of best practices. But anyway, unless you're going to use it later, and you're clearly going to comment it out for now, and then you would make a note. But anyway, best practices aside, this guy right here is 87 backwards in Hex. He also very much contributed to the Bite of 87, if this is the Bite of 87. So maybe that's a clue that this was actually done in 87, and this was the Bite of 87, as the trailer may have suggested, or if you see the 87 supposedly in Foxy's eye or whatever. I haven't confirmed nor denied that yet, but I'll probably have to take a look at that as well. But anyway, it was the 87 here. He contributed. Fredbear definitely did the animatronic version, 87, and yeah. And then this victim here is seen as like pure, so a complete white as wool color for his dialogue, but he's also the center of the action. But anyway, let me show you Night 6, and then I can show you the dialogue as it happens here, and then we can conclude. But alright, that's good for now, so let me cut it there, and then we'll go to Night. Here we go. So let me duck out of the way here a little bit so you can see the whole thing. I'll comment through the slouching so badly here. Alright, so here we go. I'm still in the way of Bonnie here. Let me just hide this here. Okay, can you hear me? This is clearly the brother, same color, everything. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm sorry. You're broken. This is a different line of text, but you note here, after this, Foxy will disappear. You're still your friends. After this, Chica will disappear. Do you still believe that? And then it's Bonnie. You notice that Chica was not the new Chica. That was not Toy Chica there. I'm still here. Then Freddy will disappear. I will put you back together. You can tell with the Chica thing, because Toy Chica's into fitness like crazy. Like, Toy Chica probably owns every Fitbit device ever. But then Fredbear will disappear here. And lots of crying. And flatline. And he disappears. It's really tragic. Really tragic story. And again, it's just, oh man, it's not the feel-good story of the year. I like how I blinked there. Alright, so that's Night 6. One more thing, and then I will be done here. Look at this. Again, these two, are these people related? They're clearly not the same person. I may have covered that already, I don't remember, but clearly two different people, unless, yeah, he got new clothes and lost a lot of height. And maybe these are his actual feet. He's barefoot and he just has like Freddy colored feet. Maybe here is Toy Freddy and he's transforming right before our eyes. No, not really, not seriously. But anyway, think about that 87 theory with the color selection, because none of these have those values. It's just everyone who was involved in the Bite of 87, if that's what it is. If it's not 83. All right, and then what else? Are these people the victims of the killings in Five Nights at Freddy's 2? And that's quite possible. I think that's foreshadowing. But anyway, maybe there will be a platformer where you play as these 5 heroes and then you try to conquer Purple Man's empire or something. Maybe that'll be a Halloween update. Because there's a content update where you get the extras or the goodies menu or whatever, the extras beefing up. Chapter 2 maybe of Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Probably not, just extra challenge modes. That was confirmed. But yeah, another game may be released around the same time. Again, Click Team doesn't really take that long, and if they're simple mini-ish type games, then they shouldn't take too long to make. But anyway, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed that. Peace and God bless. And again, yeah, different speaker. Very interesting. So I'll check you later.